Fed nominee Judy Shelton to our own Rick Santelli last hour. Speaking of Rick, let's get the Santelli Exchange. Rick?
Good morning, Carl. You know, after that interview with Dr. Judy Shelton, I received lots of feedback, and much of the feedback was somewhat as follows. Don't necessarily agree, but Dr. Judy Shelton certainly knows her subject matter and defends her stance. And what most of these were referring to is the notion that what Jay Powell and company was trying to tell us in a press conference doesn't seem to jive with what many investors think the Fed's actual mission will be in the future. And I'll explain. If you look at the globe right now, the dollar is the reserve currency, but it's the reserve currency at a time where after the crisis, it's still in high demand, and the high demand usage is mainly to fund various financial issues and structures. Okay, let's make it simple. There's a lot of loans out there denominated in dollars. Dr. Judy Shelton brought that up. To procure dollars in swaps, meaning if you want to convert your euro to a dollar, your pound to a dollar, your yen to the dollar in the forward markets, it's pricey, and it's been pricey. What that means is that we get these unintended consequences where the Fed's easing, lower interest rates, all things being equal. Look overseas to what the ECB does. They lower their interest rates, they're in negative territory, their currency's on the soft side. But the difference here is how many dollars are needed globally, A, and B, this notion that investors think the ECB is going to be more aggressive in this covert game. You could call it monetary policy. You could call it trying to better your economy. Many call it trying to move your currency lower. And in the end, that's the aftermath of yesterday. And if we take it a step farther, Jay Powell didn't really mention many of those issues, but he did talk about that a global issue of this nature, meaning trade relationships and slowing global economies, is something unique, and they're kind of feeling their way around. That isn't so far from the reality investors have, except for it's missing a piece. And that piece is that inflation, most likely, and growth, most likely, as Dr. Judy said, which dovetails with many of the investors and sources I talked to, isn't going to make a tangible difference. But this really is an economic skirmish, just like we have a trade skirmish, where other central banks' policies become very tsunami-ish in their nature. And this central bank and maybe some of the prospective nominees want to get ahead of that. But maybe it would be better just to implement tariffs and keep monetary policy cleaner, and I suspect that's going to be an ongoing discussion.